Hi, and welcome back into day 7. Now, very often when we've been experiencing a particular type of emotion or thought for a long period of time, when it's become a real habit in the mind, there is a tendency to think that it may be like this forever. In fact, we may even struggle to remember when it didn't feel like this. So there's a sense that it's permanent, it's something that's unchanging. And in the mind, this is a real kind of obstacle because we then sort of set up a really strong sense of identity with this thing. This is who we are. And yet everything changes. We may not always be aware of that feeling and of that change, but everything changes. So it's really important that we start to notice, not only within this exercise itself, but in everyday life, not only the beginning, the onset of particular emotions, but also the end of it as well. And also that we notice the intensity of it. So we might just think, well, I always feel depressed. Does that mean we always feel the same? Is sometimes the level, the scale kind of more at a 1 and other times more at a 10? If we can start to see this shift and actually experience it, then it starts to kind of loosen the grip a little bit that we have with this idea that it's fixed and that it will never change. Because as long as we're thinking it will never change, then that itself plays into the storyline. So through applying this technique of noting, again, we're providing a little more space, a bit more clarity to see these changes taking place and to let go of this idea, this fixed idea. Right now, though, just make sure you're sitting comfortably before we begin today's exercise. As always, eyes open, a nice soft focus. And when you're ready, just taking some deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And with the next out breath, just gently closing the eyes. And just settling back into the space around you, just starting to notice the different sounds as you just feel the body press downward. And now just beginning to notice how the body feels today. Sense of heaviness or lightness, tiredness, energy. Just starting at the top of the head, just scanning downward, just building up a picture as you notice what feels comfortable and what feels uncomfortable. And as you scan down through the body, just starting to become more aware of the breath, noticing where in the body you feel it, how it feels, just staying with that movement just for a few short moments now. So continuing to follow the breath, and breath remains our anchor, our point of focus. Come back to each time. Allowing thoughts, feelings to come and go. Noticing how they come and go, but in that moment that we realize that we've been completely distracted, pausing long enough to notice, to note, to let go, and then just gently bring the attention back to the breath again. So not sitting with any expectation or goal, just a soft focus on the breath, remembering to note when you get distracted. As always, not rushing to note, not thinking about noting, just gently noting, letting go, and coming back to the breath. Just continuing that way on your own now. At the moment you get distracted, just noting, coming back to the breath. And now just letting go of any focus on the breath or the technique, and just for a moment allowing the mind to do whatever it wants to do. And now just bringing the attention back into the space around you again as you just start to feel the weight of the body, to be more aware of the posture, those points of contact with the floor, and just starting to notice the different sounds, the smells around you as you move toward a point where you're comfortable opening the eyes again, and as always just pausing to notice how you feel. And today, as you go about your day, as well as just finding those moments in the day, just to pause just for a minute or two to reinforce this idea of noting. At the same time, just starting to become more aware of the feelings, these changing feelings. Perhaps pause when you do pause in the day, for those short, just to notice at the beginning what kind of emotion is around, what kind of scale is it on. Over time, again, the more clearly we can see it, it's not enough to know intellectually that everything changes. We need to see it, we need to experience it, and when we do, it just breaks down this idea of something that's never going to change. And all of a sudden, life, I think, starts to feel a lot lighter. But I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for day 8. I'll see you then.